Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Now we're going to do some more work on the lathe. I got the, I found a spot for it. That's where it's going to live. Had to rearrange some things. Had to move the mill over. That was fun. And move some toolboxes around. And the bandsaw lives over here now instead of over there. And that's the cleanest the mill's been for a while. So I started on this headstock. I got the main shaft. I got the pulley off, and I pulled this first gear off, and it has a pin right here that held it in place. And I'm working on this is the gear that we got to get off to fix the tooth on, and I couldn't figure out how to get it off of there. It would move, but it wouldn't come off. There's 3 pins in here, and I finally got to the point where, well, I tried to magnet on it, see if I could pull them out of there so I could move a magnet, and that wasn't happening, but I could see them moving a little bit. So I finally took my little Dremel tool and I cut a slot across one of them, and sure enough, they're screwed in. So I don't understand why they wouldn't have used a Allen set screw type thing, but maybe back in 1897 they didn't have them, I don't know. But anyways, you'd think there would be some kind of a head on there or something. They must have screwed them in and then filed them off of there or something. I don't know, but at least I finally figured it out. So once we get that off there, figure out how I'm going to deal with this broken tooth. Got all 3 of them out of there, and I figured I better put a couple of punch marks on there so I get it back in the right spot. See if she'll come off now. Now, I'm going to have to get something underneath there and pry on it a little bit. It isn't going to cooperate easily. So, see you in a few minutes. Now, I got the gear cleaned up. There's our broken off tooth. And right near that tooth, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can probably see it, but the metal looks a little different right here. Like it's been welded and remachined or something. I'm not sure why it would look like that, but you don't see anything up in here. Maybe just a little here. So I don't know if there was something a little goofy with this to start with, or whether somebody's fixed it and it's broken again. Don't know. It's kind of strange. I've been watching some videos on fixing these, and it seems like a lot of the guys are cutting a little groove down in there a little bit, and then filling this in with braze and recutting the tooth. So I'm debating on whether I want to give that a shot or not. Well, I was looking at those cutters that I just got from the auction yesterday, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but that looks like that's the right thing. I can't believe I'd get that lucky. So if I do get that brazed in there, I should be able to use this cutter to cut the tooth. Yeah, I'm making a mandrel to hold that gear while I cut that tooth. Like I say, I've never done this before, so I'm just kind of going by things I've watched on YouTube. So, don't know if it's going to work or not, but we'll find out in a little bit. Okay, got this part all made. It was 1 9/16 inches on the outside, and that's 1/2 inch. And this is one of the mandrels that I just got, along with that gear cutter. And that's going to go on there like so. And then the gear is going to go on there. It's a nice snug fit. And I'll probably, I don't know, looks like I could put a key in there too, so I might do that. I'm not sure. I haven't had it on there all the way. Might be a press fit or might be a super glue fit, not sure, or maybe both. So that's the plan. Then we'll put this in the rotary table divider thingamabobber. So that's how far I am so far. I decided to broach a keyway in this gear. So I'm on the final pass, I do believe. There we go. And that's going to be to hold it on the arbor while I do the milling. And before I put it together, I'm going to attempt to cut a keyway on that pulley where this goes to. Okay, I'm milling the slot in the arbor part to match that keyway. A couple passes and should have that done. Turned out okay. I just got the sleeve started in there and the keyway started in there. It's going to be a, call it a snug fit. I don't know if you'd really call it a press fit. I plan on using some either Loctite or super glue or something. Next, I guess I'll get the groove cut down in here where the missing tooth is, and then see about getting that filled in with braze. Well, I got a gob of braze on there where that tooth's supposed to go. It looked pretty good till I decided to put that last layer on there. I put it in there just so I can control the cool down of it. I wound up using the carbon arc torch to do it. Tried my little Crystalite torch and this, but I just couldn't get enough heat for it to flow. So once I used the arc torch, she flowed right in there nice. So we'll slowly cool her down and then we'll get her set up in the mill, I guess. Well, this is going to be my setup for cutting that tooth back in. Like I say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going by things I've learned on YouTube, more or less, and read and all that good stuff. Going to use my little rotary table, and there's not a lot of math involved like you were starting out with a blank and making a gear. So what my plan is, of course, this will have the gear on it, and then this will go on there. That's that mandrel. And then, of course, the tailstock's going to come up here. And then I'll get my cutter down here, and I'll get it engaged in an existing tooth. Get it all set up. Get the depth set. Set my thing for 0. I could use a digital readout, I guess, for that. And what else did I figure? Oh, it's got 28 teeth on it, so I divided 28 into 360 and I come out 12.87. So I got to turn this 12.87 from an existing tooth degrees to get to the next step. And I did a dry run with the existing teeth, and it seemed like it fell right in place. Of course, it might be different under real life conditions, but that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. You got the gear set up on the mandrel, and I got it in the lathe. I'm going to take this excess off. I got started on it. Sun's blaring in this window, so I can't get a real good shot at it, but it'll take me a few more minutes to get this down even with these teeth. And it looks like I'm going to have a good amount of material for the top part of the tooth, so I think we're going to be good. Now I got that done. Now we'll get her set up in the mill. Okay, I think I got it set up. Everything's tightened down. Digital readout set. I've got it in an existing tooth, and I've got that set on 0. So, and I don't know if I'll be able to show you or not. That's in an existing tooth, and there's no light, and it doesn't turn the cutter, and I can turn the cutter freely. You can just barely touch the bottom of it. So I'm going to give her a whirl and see what happens. Take very small cuts. I've never done this before. Probably being overcautious, but it's better than ruining it. I'm going to stop and take a look, see what's going on, just to make sure everything looks alright. Well, the first tooth seemed to go okay. I looked on the back side, and it just started to peel the brass off of the good tooth next to it. So I think I got that one pretty close. Now if we can just get the next one, same results, we'll be good. Well, I think I successfully repaired that tooth. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but you can see I just started to show the original, yes, it's cast iron on that tooth, and the same on this one. This is a little more obvious. You can see this one, and I can see just barely a little bit of the iron showing in the bottom, and it seems to mate okay. So I'm pretty happy with my first attempt at gear cutting. I guess you could say cutting. I made one tooth. It's not like I was designing and making a whole gear. So I'm pretty happy. Now we got to get her off there and get her back on the spindle. Okay, I'm milling that slot in the pulley to match the one that I broached in the gear. Just taking light cuts because this isn't a real substantial holding method. And it's only a 3/16 cutter, so there isn't a lot of force on there anyway. One time there was a screw in that position because there's some crooked threads there. Okay, I'm going to check my depth. Check her and see how we're doing. I think we should be pretty close. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty good. That key's too long. I'm going to have to cut it off, so I think we're okay. Pulley's cleaned up. The gear's back on with the key in place, and I used Allen set screws in there instead of those headless screws. Okay, I got her just temporary set back in place to give it a try. And the only I could feel just a little bit of interference, I guess you would call it, when I come to this spot, and I wound up taking a little file, and I just had to clean the bottom of the slot out. There was a little bit of brass still in there. You can see I'm down to the steel again, and that seemed to cure that problem. She goes through nicely now. Matter of fact, if I had my eyes closed, I probably couldn't tell when that tooth was going by. So I think I'm going to call this one a video again. It's been an interesting and fun repair. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. And we'll see you next time with some more progress on this.